Hi, I'm the Director for Common Knowledge Trust, as you can see below. And we produce, watch this. Oh, that went away. That ooh's in the wrong place. What do you know? And let's see. Oh, wrong place too. So we produce our trust, Birthing Better Childbirth Preparation online courses. So I want to wish all of you a happy holiday season. You can tell I'm an old lady. So I've dedicated 45 years of my life to these skills for no other reason other than they were developed by women like myself and men like my ex-husband and hundreds of fathers and mothers just like me and just like you. We just wanted, first, something we could do in the privacy of our own home to prepare for our baby's birth. And we also wanted to have the skills to birth our baby, no matter where we gave birth, who was present, or what really happened to us around us. I gave birth in the 1970 when everybody was taking Lamaze classes, but they were geared towards those who wanted a natural birth, possibly pain-free, and with less medical care. But that wasn't possible or realistic for the majority of us. By the time I gave birth again in 1982, skills were out of fashion and everybody was making birth plans and choices. But there's no way to know what your birth's going to be like. And so the reality is you really can't plan your birth. You can hope and you can wish. But when we developed these skills, we were really serious. We wanted skills so that we could birth our baby. And it didn't really matter to each of us. Our baby's birth was important to our family. We didn't really care how anybody else gave birth. We might be involved in the politics to some degree, but the reality was we never said, "Hi, how are you? And what was your birth like?" So our birth was important to each of us, which meant we could find ways to use skills to birth our baby, no matter what. Which means that Birthing Better families have used their skills on the way to the hospital while being prepped and having non-laboring cesareans, as well as those families who are birthing home alone. We decided that we wanted to become skilled. And we could become skilled easily if we understood that, first of all, if you're pregnant, you're in an elite group of pregnant women. If you're not pregnant, you're not in it. And second of all humans blink. They all cough. They can all tighten up their rectum, which means that the skills are based on our human body. Because the reality is we have a big object that we hold in our container for 9 months, and then we let it out of our container one way or the other. So Birthing Better families developed, first of all, skills so that they could cope and manage, deal with, handle, work through, stay on top of, and in control the birth experience that they were having. Few of us could control the outside experience, but we could control how we responded to the outside, and we could control how we responded to our internal sensations. And our partner could see that in our face, hear that in our voice, watch what we were doing, and know how to help because we shared a common body language of skills. And then Birthing Better families really realized that we had to learn to prepare our body for birth. And we chose 24 weeks to be a good place to start because your uterus is up at your belly button. You know you're more than halfway through your pregnancy. And the birth is beginning to be important to you. You're 16 weeks more or less away from the birth, which means you're planning the birth. You're thinking about the birth. You're having emotional feelings about the birth. If your mind knows that you're going to have a non-laboring cesarean, your body is still doing all the hormonal stuff to prepare to labor and have a vaginal birth. How many times do you get pregnant in life? Wouldn't you like to fully enjoy your pregnancy and get engaged and participate and involved and get your partner more involved? Of course you would. And Birthing Better families were no different than yours. We're all one humanity, no matter how far back in time we go. So we developed the skills to prepare your pregnant body to give birth. And so we use those skills over a period of time to learn to create space in our pelvis, to soften inside, to work through the contractions if we're working through the contractions. And we developed the breathing, the communication, the nonverbal verbal communication, and the touch as a cue to soften skills. It's as simple as that. And then we developed all the skills that tie them together to answer the gaps that people have. What do I do about niggling labor? Well, we discovered what you do about niggling labor. You ask one question over and over and over and over again, and that is, what do you want to do now? A lot of people are told, well, try to get your labor going. Walk, do that, stimulate your nipples, do this, take herbs, take homeopathics, acupuncture, whatever. But what we discovered was that drove women absolutely bonkers, and it made them exhausted. So we had to step back and say what makes sense and what's happening. So what we realized in this tiny particular gap of niggling labors was we had to ask, what do you want to do now? You had to live your life because your baby was slowly, thankfully, preparing your body to give birth. Because when we look back on birth records of 72-hour labors, the progressive part of the labor was actually 6 hours long. So we had spent 66 hours stressed out, and we didn't want to do that. So what do you want to do now? And I don't know is not option A, B, C, or D. What do you want to do now? Take a shower, eat, have sex, take a walk, read a book, go to a movie, do it. And if nothing has changed, what do you want to do now? And keep doing that. And what we found was that we then went into active labor rested. And we realized that that early part was a blessing. Our baby was slowly preparing our body. And if we stayed rested and stayed focused, then we could actually prepare our body for birth and know how to handle that very niggling labor part of it. And that was important. So Birthing Better is a collection of extensive skills that answer absolutely every gap, every thought, every question you have ever had about your coming birth or your previous births. We were very real about this, and we have produced a resource that gives you all those skills. And because this is the holiday season, we have a 50% off on all of our resources. And we hope that you'll give a gift to some pregnant father-to-be or some expectant mother that you love or know. And if not, give it to yourself. So this is my first time on eCam because I have a Mac and I have to learn to be live on Facebook. And I hope this worked. So see you later. Bye-bye.